I'm Carolyn R. Davis, and welcome to the Heart and Soul Tour to a summer weekend. I'm here to talk a little about the Heart and Soul bus tour, the Heart and Soul Tour concert, which starts August the 28th and the 29th. We'll kick off on the 28th with the Heart and Soul bus tour. We toured the historical South Dallas Fair Park. We've been doing this now, going on our 4th year as a part of the tour summer weekend. The Heart and Soul Tour is about our culture and our history and the value of it here in our community. We look at from 1930 to 1975. We have Dr. Clarence Glover, who is a tour guide this year, Diane Ragsdale, who is also a tour guide, myself, and Dr. Payton, who's also a tour guide, very well known when it comes to African culture and the history of it. And so I'm just excited that Dr. Payton decided to be with us this year for the Heart and Soul Tour. Each bus is very unique. As we do this tour, we're going to be looking at the Juanita Craft House, which many people, as many times as we've done that tour, people still enjoy the Craft House, and it's very refreshing when people say, I was in this house, or I was 16, or I worked with Mrs. Craft, or I remember when she was teaching us to do the poll tax and what it meant to register to vote. We also look at some of her unique artifacts that's still in the house. And of course, she donated the house to the Office of Cultural Affairs, and Sister Marilyn Clark is our host for the Craft House. Then we go and we look at Bullell Nelson Cemetery and the rich history that cemetery has to offer. Then we leave there, and then this year we'll be doing the African American Museum. The museum have a lot of culture and history inside of it, trying to get more people to participate in the museum and tour the museum. We will also be going and looking at the historical houses on South Boulevard. We will be looking at a variety of things. I don't want to give all the tour guide away. I want you to come and participate. It's very limited this year. We will only be doing 4 buses, and we're almost full. And once we have reached our capacity for the Heart and Soul Tour, you just get in line for next year Heart and Soul Tour. And it's going to be a wonderful thing. Then that evening at the Majestic Theater, starting at 8 o'clock, is Stephanie Mills and the Whispers. You guys got to come out and see that concert. It is going to be a wonderful concert. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster or all Ticketmaster outlets. I'm excited about the show. I don't think Stephanie's been here in a while. It's been a couple years since Stephanie's been here in the city. The Whisper, I heard they give one exciting show. So I'm very excited about that. And now, my friend, when I was on the Dallas City Council, who worked with me on this for a number of years, since '07. First of all, I want to say that I thank Dr. Harry Robinson and the late Leo Cheney Jr. for really working together to discover Tour Summer. And I just added a little twist to it, which was the Heart and Soul Tour and the Heart and Soul Tour concert. Now, Ronnie is here to talk to us about Tour Summer and the all-day activity that is lined up. And I also, before you get started, Ronnie, I want to thank all of my sponsors. I want to thank all of the sponsors who participated. Their name will be at the Majestic. As you walk in, their names will also be placed in front of the African American Museum. And we would just, give a high shout out to all the sponsors who participated in this year's Heart and Soul into a summer weekend. And so, Ronnie, do you want to talk a little about Saturdays?
Okay. Good evening. I'm Ronnie Jesse, and coordinator of the Book Festival. And as Ms. Davis said, we've been working together since 2007. The Tula Summer Book Fair is a celebration of literacy and reading in South Dallas. It showcases some of the best and most well-known authors across the country. We've had big names such as Walter Mosley, Juan Williams, Nikki Giovanni. We've had sports athletes. We've had Terrell Owens, and we've had lots of big names come through and celebrate with us. Victoria Rao, who's a TV actress. So Ms. Davis continues the tradition and has expanded the festival over the years to include the Heart and Soul Tour. Like she said, we are looking forward to this year. The dates is August 29th on Saturday. We start early Saturday morning with a gospel, taste of gospel. So we wake up bright and early with a gospel showcase, and you'll hear some of South Dallas's best, some of their finest choirs, such as Joy Tabernacle. It's hosted at Cornerstone Baptist Church, and so you'll hear Cornerstone's choir, you'll hear Seasoned Saints, you'll hear some local musicians, jazz musicians, gospel musicians, and so it's a great way to start today. There's food provided by Cornerstone. We move from that gospel showcase at 10 o'clock, and we move over to the African American Museum, which is where we'll start the actual book fair. Our first featured author at noon will be Pork Chops and Politics with Peter Bailey. Peter is a well-known civil rights activist. He's an author. He's in theater. He's been around. He was close to and worked closely with Malcolm X, and so he's going to come talk about his experience doing Pork Chops and Politics. We have a new author who lives in LA but has family here in Dallas. She's a poet. Her name is Cheryl. Her name is Cheryl Sharp. Pearl Sharp. I'm sorry. She does poetry. She has a CD. She's written several books. She's going to be in town visiting family on that day, so she's going to stop by and participate in Tula Summer with us. We'll be glad to have her, see what she has to say. The entire Saturday is filled with all sorts of activities. There are local authors who have booth space. They will be selling their books, and so everything from children's books to adult books, fiction, nonfiction. We have vendors selling merchandise. There's children's activities, crafts. There's open mic poetry led by Poetry Slam champion Mike Gwynn. He's going to host a open mic poetry and a poetry workshop. There will be music. You hear some jazz. It's a full day of activities. We'll have something for everybody. So we want everybody to come out and enjoy that Saturday, August 29th for Tula Summer.
And for conversation, and Rosa, Ronnie talked about Pork Chops and Politics, which is from 12 to 2, and then from 2 to 4 is Conversation in Roses. And this year we have a young lady named Marsha Jones. She's a women's rights activist, and she's going to be talking about where are we at when it comes to HIV and AIDS among African American women, especially. Have we gained anything? Have we learned from the past? Or are we still at high risk? She's going to give us the data and the information that she has gathered. And to also, we're going to talk a little about, child trafficking. That's a huge concern in our city now. When you look at the Justice Network, and you will see that a girl is missing, and a lot of them are coming from Dallas, Texas, and that's an alarming rate, I think. And so we need to kind of talk about that and make sure that people are aware about some of these issues. And then we probably look at literacy, bank literacy, financial literacy, and helping people understand that we must continue to stay involved. But her focus is rights for women, and she's a strong activist. She lives here in Dallas, and I think she will be exciting for conversation in Roses. Then, as Ronnie said, we will wrap up the day, and there's a whole lot of other activities. There's a kids activity too running.
The kids activities, there's drumming, there's African drumming, there's painting, there's arts and crafts, there's storytelling. We have lots of activities for children. You will see for those beginning writers, people who've always dreamed about being a writer but didn't know how to get started, we'll have workshops for those writers. There will be workshops by a young man named Daryl Anderson. He's going to conduct a workshop for beginning writers, the elements of writing, on how to get started, how to get your manuscript together, and how to publish, whether it's self-publishing or going to a publisher. So he'll give you all the information you need as a young, a writer starting out for the first time. So we'll have all sorts of workshops happening with all different types of topics. We'll have everything you need. We'll cover everything from writing to publishing to business, social media, how to use social media to promote your business, and so we'll have a little bit of everything.
And you must bring some money, because this is about books, the vendors, it's about literacy, it's about coming together as African Americans and looking at a book festival that can bring us together in the importance of a good book. And so we're trying to make this a fun weekend, a 2-day weekend of fun. Also, I want to thank ALW Entertainment. Al, you're the best. And Teresa, thank you. Al and Teresa Wash, I want to thank both of them for all the work they've done in this community and throughout the world, in the city. I believe this is one of the best, and it's getting better each and every year. The Heart and Soul Bus Tour, the Heart and Soul Concert, and Tuasama. But the beauty of this is for people to come out to Tuasama, come out on Saturday, come to the African American Museum, see the authors, see the vendors, talk to the sponsors who have participated. But not only that, is to patronize these authors and really get into a good book. I think once we open the doors up to literacy and the importance of a good book and reading and writing, I think our kids will get more involved in the process of a lot of things. Reading is one of them, writing is one of them, STEM is another factor that I think we need to continue to educate our kids on. And we must also push our kids to get more involved in college. And even if some of them might not be college material, but they can get involved in something to help better themselves. And so we're just going to keep working on this till we get it right and till we can grow it, and so it can be the best book festival here in the Southwest. I want to thank Dr. Harry Robinson as well for letting us use the African American Museum. I think it's a fitting place to have it, and I just want to thank the city, thank you, and thank everyone for participating over the years as a part of the bus tour, the concert series, and Tuasama. What do you think, Ron?
That's great. Just remember the website. If you want information, it's www.tuasama.com.
Or .org. And what's your number, Ronnie?
Phone number 214-670-7809.
And if you want to reach another number, my number, you can call me at 214-830-7601. And I just want to say Tuasama. Heart and Soul Tour.
Heart and Soul Tour.
All right.